Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the page, in 1990 I became involved in the drug gang world. From 92 to '06, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. I tell these stories to let you know it don't have to be you. If you're young and thinking about trying something or you're figuring out how to get out, these are my stories of this lifestyle and how it affected me, and eventually I got out and transformed my life. So let's get into today's story. So, as you see by the thumbnail, this is going to be Prison Tats Part 2. And I want to give a special shout out to Juan, the homie, for the comment on that I should get more into detail on this. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do with this one. So, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and share this video. It helps the channel to grow. Also, I'm on Instagram at BrokenBobby72 and TikTok as well. So follow me on those as well. And if you have a message you'd like to send to me, send it to me on one of those platforms if you don't necessarily want to put it in the comments here. So let's get into today's video. So we're talking about prison tattoos. And there's a bunch of different tattoos that are synonymous with prison. Uh, so, some guys will put tombstones on somewhere on their body with years. And that's one thing that you can look at and have an idea of how much time somebody's done. Some guys will, they'll have 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and so on. So somebody that's got about 20 tombstones on them with the years would obviously let you know that they've been down for 20 years. So, and like I said, a lot of times you can read people's tattoos and get a really good idea of who they are and how long they've been down and stuff like that. So you got the tombstones. There's the teardrop. People put on the eye. And I've heard several different reasons people will do that. Like when I was growing up in the neighborhood, they would say that's because they have a body. I personally think, so many people lose loved ones when they're incarcerated that I think if I were to put a teardrop, that's why I would do it. So, I mean, if you know something different, drop a comment, let us all know. So then some guys will do the webs, the spider webs, like on the elbow or something. And a lot of times that's synonymous with, you're caught up in the system, basically. You're caught up in the web of prison and incarceration and stuff like that. So now with the political tattoos, and what I mean by political tattoos is, I'm speaking for the white guys because that's who I ran with. I can't really speak on other people's politics and how they feel about tattoos, but with the political tattoos, like a white pride, a swastika, lightning bolts is another one. What I was told with the lightning bolts is that you've basically committed a hot one. You unalived somebody of another race. So now, I'm not really too sure on that, but typically you see them on the older heads that have been around for a while, and maybe that's what it is. Like I said, if you know something different, drop a comment and let us all know. So I have a story on a political tattoo that was put on somebody, and this is not firsthand information. This was a skinhead, and this is the word that was going around at the time. I was in Delano on the 3 yard, and what the story was that he was in a CCF and he got a swastika tattooed on the back of his head by a gentleman from the Southern faction. And, that's a no-no. If you're going to get a political tattoo put on you, you need to have somebody from your own faction do that. Now, I guess it's got special meaning, and it's been earned amongst your brothers, if you will. So it would only seem right that someone from your own faction would bless you with that tattoo. Now, this guy, and like I said, most of this is secondhand information. I seen what happened to him, but like I said, I don't know the whole story behind it, so I'm not sure. But this skinhead got the swastika tattooed on the back of his head by a gentleman from the Southern faction. He lands on the 3-yard, and his comrades, if you don't know, that's what the skinheads call each other, their comrades. His comrades were very unhappy with the fact that, somebody outside the race tattooed such a highly political piece on him. And they were planning to remove him. So, it's funny in there when they're going to move on you. It seems like everybody knows but you. And, a lot of times you can feel tension in there. You know when something's going to happen. But, you don't always necessarily know it's going to happen to you. Case in point on that. So I'm in the cell. Day room's going on. And it's evening time. The skinheads are having a spread at a table not too far from my cell window. And, they're finishing up their spread. Everything seems copacetic, if you will. It don't seem like there's any tension there at all amongst those guys. And they move on him. They're, like I said, they're finishing. They had just eaten, bonding time, if you will. No disrespect intended when I say that, but a lot of times that's what that is. You throw a big spread for the camaraderie of it all. And yeah, as they were finishing up, 3 of them got on him with pieces and really went in on this guy. And they, a lot of times when, you can tell if they're just trying to remove somebody from the yard or if they're trying to take their wind. And what I mean by taking their wind is unaliving them. And that's what it seemed like they were doing here. These guys were on him, putting boots to him, putting pieces to him. And, the thing is, like I said, I'm in the cell. I hear a commotion, so I come over to the window to see what's going on. And, they're on this dude. And they're definitely trying to take his wind. And so the alarm starts going off, and they're yelling, "Get on the ground, get on the ground," like they typically do when something like this is going on. And my cellie says we need to block the gaps. Obviously, a little bit more frantic than the way I just said it, but what I mean by that is on these cells, there's a gap on the edge and at the bottom. And the reason he said that we need to block these gaps is because they're about to hit these guys with spray. And, basically being in somewhat close proximity, if that stuff gets into your cell, it's like a gas chamber in there. You can't breathe. And, it's just a really bad all around situation. So, like I said, they had the word that was going around that is they moved on him for the tattoo because it wasn't done by one of his comrades. Now, I don't know. That seems pretty extreme, but prison's a pretty extreme place. So, the thing is, if you don't put yourself in situations where you're going to end up in prison, then you don't have to worry about all of this stuff, and you can hopefully just be entertained by the story. Family, fitness, and freedom, those are the things that help me to get sober and stay sober, and they can help you as well. It's just a matter of making a good decision and compounding that good decision with another one. And not letting the bad decisions overwhelm you and you to dig yourself into such a hole that you can't get out. So that's my story for the day. I hope you enjoy it. Shout out to you, Juan. I hope you're doing well. And don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.